Chapter 3. Secret City. It was like descending into a different world. The air was cool, damp, and utterly still. Once Ollie had slid the manhole cover back into place, the only light came from the torch on Dodge's phone. Ollie followed Dodge down the ladder, the rungs greasy in his grip. "Easy now," said Dodge. "Almost there. 2 more rungs. That's it. Watch your step when you reach the bottom." Ollie dropped down beside Dodge. He landed feet first in a puddle of water. It wasn't sewage water, he didn't think. More likely rainwater that had dripped through the shaft they just descended. Even so, it wasn't exactly pleasant, and Ollie curled his toes at the cold. "You could do with some shoes," Dodge said, pointing out the obvious. "And those PJs," he shone the torch on Ollie's midriff. "Don't get me wrong, I like dinosaurs as much as the next man, but don't you reckon you should have bought the next size up?" Ollie looked down and almost curdled with embarrassment. He was still wearing his dino pyjamas, which was bad enough. But he'd got them for his birthday more than 2 years ago, and he'd long outgrown them. The sleeves barely covered his wrists, and the trousers ended above his ankles. Dodge, in contrast, wore combats, a Nike t-shirt, and scuffed up checkerboard Vans. "Hey," said Dodge, clearly sensing Ollie's discomfort. "It's no big deal. All the toughest guys wear pyjamas. Karate experts, ninjas, and convicts. And besides, we can kit you out with something more appropriate when we get home." Dodge turned and started trotting down the tunnel, splashing through puddles as he went. They were on a walkway of some sort, the sewage itself forming an underground river alongside them. Dodge was tapping into his phone again, sending another message, Ollie guessed. "Does that work down here? How have you even got a signal?" Dodge threw a grin across his shoulder. "A friend of mine made a few modifications. Shortwave antenna, a bespoke messaging app, and our own private frequency." He waggled the phone in Ollie's direction, and Ollie glimpsed that funny aerial thing he'd noticed before. "It doesn't look pretty, but it works great. Jack's a genius. I'll introduce you when we get home." That reference to home again. Where on earth could he mean? Ollie was pretty sure it wasn't a cosy 3-bed semi in the suburbs, nor a flat like the one he and Nancy had shared in Chalk Farm. Nancy. Ollie felt her absence in his stomach, a sudden jolt like a physical blow. She was gone. Their life together, gone. It was as though the floor beneath his feet had collapsed from under him, and he had no means of knowing where he would land. "This way," Dodge said, bearing left. He fiddled with his phone, and when he held it out in front of him, the beam from the torch was so bright, Ollie could see an extra 10-20 metres further on. The entire circumference of the tunnel was illuminated, revealing the ancient arch of brickwork in all its slime-covered glory. "Another modification," Dodge explained, indicating his phone. "High-power beam. It's murder on the battery, but as useful in its way as the aerial. These tunnels are how we get around, you see. The sewers, old railway cuttings, disused underground ventilation channels, sometimes even the tube tunnels themselves. All great for accessing where we need to go. But whoever built them neglected to put in strip lights and Wi-Fi. Most inconsiderate, if you ask me." "You keep saying we," Ollie replied. "Who are you talking about? And why don't you use the pavement like everyone else?" Dodge laughed. "We're not like everyone else, that's why. We're kids like you, Ollie. Exactly like you, in fact. As for the tunnels, they're how we get where we're going without being seen, which can be crucial in our line of work." "Work? But how old are you? Shouldn't you be at school?" "I'm 15, and the work thing, it's a figure of speech. I go to school, we all do, just not the same sort of school you go to." Ollie was about to ask Dodge what he meant, when they turned another corner and hit a stench so overwhelming it was like running into a wall. "Whoa," Ollie gasped, tears budding in his eyes. He held his nose, and when he spoke again, he sounded like he was at the thick end of a cold. "This friend of yours," he said to Dodge, "couldn't he have invented, like, some decent nose plugs or something while he was at it?" "Jack's a she, not a he, and nose plugs would make it kind of difficult to breathe," Dodge pointed out. "Some of the other kids use Vicks. You know, that stuff you put on your chest when you get ill. A little dab under each nostril, and the smell of the sewage isn't so bad. Me, I don't tend to bother. You get used to the pong after a while." Ollie wasn't sure it was something he could ever get used to. "And you know what," Dodge went on, "I'd take a sewer over the other types of tunnel down here any day. They're roomier, for starters. Some of those London Underground ventilation tunnels, You'd think they were built for baby hobbits. Ollie would hardly have described the sewer they were moving through as roomy. As for the tube tunnels themselves, Dodge was saying, there's the whole getting splattered by a passing train thing I'm basically happy to do without. So yeah, on the whole, the sewers are our friends. Ollie trod on something then that definitely wasn't friendly. His PJ bottoms were clinging wetly to his calves, so that the cold reached almost to his knees. I still think I'd rather go by pavement, he grumbled. Ha! Dodge glanced back at him with another grin. Just you wait, he said. I guarantee you'll change your tune soon enough. Above us, right now, that's the Tower of London. A few more corners, and we'll be under the Bank of England. The Bank of England? Dodge smiled. See? I knew you'd be impressed. The world down here, it's like a secret city, one nobody knows about except us. That was pretty cool, Ollie had to admit. The only thing you really need to worry about is the rats. Ollie turned. Rats. Can't you hear them? Ollie listened and found that he could. Little scurrying noises along the channel below them, a squeak now and then. He tried to peer over to see if he could spot them, but he was distracted by the sight of lights dancing in the tunnel up ahead. Relax, Dodge said, when Ollie stiffened. Those men back there will be searching for us in their yard. These guys, they're with me. Oh, and that reminds me. Give me your hand. What? Ollie said. Your hand. Hold it out. But why? Ollie asked, even as he offered Dodge his palm. Safety measures, Dodge responded, and before Ollie knew what was happening, Dodge had spun him round and got him in an arm lock. Hey! Sorry to have to do this to you, Ollie. Ollie wriggled, but it did no good. Dodge drove him against the slimy sewer wall. Ollie caught a flash of black fabric, and then all of a sudden the world went dark. After that, he felt his free arm being wrenched behind him, and something dig painfully into his wrists. For the second time in 12 hours, Ollie found himself a prisoner, his head hooded, and his hands firmly fastened behind his back. So thank you for listening. There'll be another chapter available tomorrow, so don't forget to click the link below to subscribe. And if you want to get yourselves a copy of the book, maybe to read along, or if you want to order the next books in the series, The Haven Revolution and The Haven Deadfall, then a lot of independent bookshops are delivering at the moment. A lot of them are hand delivering, so please try and support them if you can. Otherwise, the Amazon link is also down below, and you can order the books there. So thanks again, and see you next time.